Hello all you friendly fiends of the Finternet, I hope you're all doing fantastic. Today we're going to get the Calais drift car back to life after it's been sitting for quite a while. So, due to circumstance that I mentioned briefly in a previous video, I haven't actually been able to go drifting for over 6 months, and this thing has been sitting that entire time. It's just been living underneath the carport out the back. I know it doesn't look too bad, but the closer you get, the more you see. You can see that it is covered in cobwebs and dust and crud, and it really does need a good clean. I have given the inside a quick vacuum when I rolled it in here earlier today. So the inside doesn't look too bad. But yeah, we've got the battery on charge. I've pumped up all the tyres because that tyre was almost flat. So I've rechecked all the tyre pressures. I've rechecked fluid levels, and I've had the battery on charge for about 6 hours. So basically the plan is going to be, we're going to get this thing fired up. We'll probably hit the key in a second just to see if it starts. There's no reason why it shouldn't. But previous event, we did back the thing into a wall. If you haven't seen that video, make sure you check it out. The damage is a little bit more extensive than what we originally thought. You can see this door is now overlapping the quarter panel. But if you get that door open, you can actually see there's a couple of creases in the door opening. So the damage has gone past that back wheel. So one of the things I want to do is I want to get this thing on an aligner and just get things checked out. At the last event, after I hit the wall, later on in the day, the car did start to pull left. Theoretically, if that wheel has been moved forward and the wheel track on this side of the car has decreased, it technically should make the car want to pull right, but it was pulling left. So we do want to check the alignment and just make sure that everything's okay. It's been ages since this thing's had an alignment anyway. We want to do a whole bunch of new fluids in it. I want to rebalance the front wheels as it's through one of the wheel weights at the start of the previous event as well. So I've got steering wheel wobble and just give the thing a bit of a spanner check and stuff like that. But first things first, let's hit the key and see if this thing fires up. Again, as I said, there's no reason why it shouldn't. We'll take the battery charger off. And of course, Old Faithful, she fires right up. All right, let's get this thing loaded up and we'll get it down to the factory and we'll see you guys down there. All right, legends, got the nugget down here at the factory. So the goal for this weekend is to go through and try and get as much done on this thing as we can. First thing we've done is we've grabbed a measuring tape and measured hub center to hub center on the left wheels and the right wheels. The left wheels are actually 3 mil closer together than the right. So that confirms that the right rear wheel, I don't think, has been pushed forward, and the difference of 3 mil is neither here nor there. That could just be in slight differences in caster or whatever. So the first thing I'm going to do is get it up in the air, go through and spanner check everything under the car, and then we'll bust the front wheels off and give them a balance. Righto, spanner check of everything is done. So we've gone through and checked brake caliper, bolts, ball joints, sway bar links, sway bar mounts, lower control arms, strut bolts I didn't do because we'll probably have to touch them when we do the alignment. Check the tail shaft center bearing bushes, checked all the tail shaft donut bolts and nuts. Same in the rear end, did shock mounts and toe arms and lower control arm bolts and everything. So got a little bit of movement out of a couple of them. So that's good, everything is all good and tight. So now we will get these front wheels off and get them balanced up. These wheels set up on the old / new aligner. I haven't taken any weights off or anything yet. I just want to spin it up and see what it tells me. This one's actually not too bad. Only 10 on the inside, 15 on the outside. So I'll take the old weights off. I'll spin it back up again, and if it's out, I'll put new weights on and try and get it as good as we can. Boom, all zeros. Good enough for a drift car. Do the other side. I've just spun up the passenger side and we're out 30 on the inside and 10 on the outside. That is definitely enough to give the steering wheel Parkinson's, and especially with my OCD, it's very annoying. There is no wheel weight on the inside, and I do definitely remember when I fitted these tyres, it did have it, so I reckon it's throwing the wheel weight off on the inside. So we'll get this balanced up, get it back on the car. 0 and 5, I'm calling that good enough. Driveline oils, so we're going to do the diff oil and the manual gearbox oil. Did both of them when I put the engine, this Rico engine, in the car, but I haven't done them since. This was a fully built diff when we first built this car. The diff oil and that I've changed a couple of times. It's always clean. But yeah, this gearbox has got no fifth, so it'll be interesting to see what the gearbox oil looks like. No fifth is not a big deal when we're on track. But anyway, we'll get this gear oil draining and then we'll move on to the next. Surprises here, rear diff oil's pretty good. We're going in with 80 W140 Penrite full synthetic. Oil coming out, and yeah, look, it's not bad, but it's not horrible. A bit grey. Not too much stuff on the magnet. I'll chuck some new stuff in it. In these manual gearboxes are actually supposed to run a 75-80 synthetic, but I actually find if you go to the Pro Gear 75-85, they actually go all right. So a little bit less notchiness and stuff like that. And I also like to put in a bottle of the Penrite Shifties as well. So we'll throw that in and then we'll fill that up and then we'll move on to the next thing. Rightio, Driveline oils are done. I've got it back down off the hoist, obviously, and now it's time to send it down to the alignment shop to get the alignment done. So be interesting to see how that all turns out. So we got old mate back from the alignment shop, and yeah, let's just say the thing was more crooked than a hillbilly smile. It was out all over the shop, so definitely needed to be aligned. Sorry, the rats are getting pretty big here. For those of you wondering how I align my car, feel free to align your race car the same or different, whatever you choose. Rear end, I try and get as little camber as possible on the back wheels, and I normally run about 1 mil to 1.5 mil toe in per side on the back wheels. That sort of helps break them free a little bit easier. Low power car problems. Front, I run about 4 degrees of negative camber. That's pretty much all I can get with mostly standard stuff. I run about 10 to 11 degrees of caster, so leaning the front wheel forward, and about 1 mil to 1.5 mil of toe out on the front wheels. And that combination just basically helps the front end turn in a bit quicker and helps the steering wheel snap back to center a lot quicker as well. Unfortunately, stuff's come up, nothing goes to plan. I need to take the car home. Other stuff has taken priority, but we'll be back shortly because in about 2 weeks is our next event. The time is rolling in, and we'll get going on this thing again. But you'll see that right about now. Morning, everyone. We are back. It is the day before the Calder Park Drift event, the Vic Drift Practice Day on the 9th of May. It is currently the 8th. I dropped the Calais off late last night. I got to set up on the hoist so I can come in early and start getting into it. Need to get this thing done. Jason will be down a little bit later this morning as well with his drift car. We need to do a bunch of work on that too. His drift car hasn't even moved in, I think, like 11 months or something like that. So both of these things need a bit of love. As you know, we've already done gearbox oil, diff oil, wheel alignment, and balance the front wheels on this, and we've done a spanner check. So continuing on the maintenance side of things, the plan for today is I want to change the power steering fluid, clutch fluid flush, brake fluid flush, hydraulic handbrake fluid flush, and then do an engine oil and oil filter on it. That'll round out all of the fluids on this thing, except for coolant. I'm not going to bother changing it. I did a coolant flush on this with water wetter and new coolant 2 events ago when this engine went in. So not too fussed about the coolant side of things. I want to go through and give this thing a really good clean inside and out as well, as it is pretty filthy. And then seeing how we go time-wise, I might see if I can try and do something with the rear end on this, maybe try and pull the back end out a little bit, because there is a pretty big gap where you can actually see into the boot, and water and stuff gets in. Also, that brake light doesn't work on that side. So I might see, if we've got time, I might pull the rear bar off and see if I can pull the rear end out a little bit. The tail light mounts are all broken because they're all twisted, so I don't know. We'll see how we go for time, and I also want to get my trailer prepped. So first things first, let's get into doing some fluids. Righto, so we've powered ahead a little bit. We've got the hydraulic handbrake all flushed up. We've sucked it out, filled it up, and bled it through. Clutch fluid, same thing. Sucked it out, filled it up, bled it through, so the lid can go back on that. Hydraulic handbrake and clutch fluid were actually pretty bad. This is what I use in the hydraulic handbrake. It's got a really high boiling point of like 600 and something degrees. I don't know if that's Fahrenheit or Celsius. It's Fahrenheit. But I also use that in the clutch today, just for fun. I don't know why I did, but I did. Now we're going to change brake fluid. I just use the generic stuff that I keep in stock just for everyday cars. Brake fluid doesn't look too bad. It actually looks pretty good, but it hasn't been done in a couple of years, so we'll go through and do that. Oh, and I've also done the power steering. I just sucked it out and filled it up with some new stuff. So it's nice and clean now. So we'll get on to getting this brake fluid done and move on to other stuff. Mad, all done, flushed and bled at all 4 corners, looking beautiful. Next job. What's left on this is to give it a clean and to do an engine oil and oil filter on it. But I realised the oil that I normally run in this, I don't actually have any in stock, which I thought I did. So I've ordered some. It'll be here in about an hour. So now we're starting on cosmetic stuff, just while we wait. I've got my emotional support Kane here. Kane also does a bit of detailing stuff, so he's going through and buffing the rear end just to try and get the scratches out, and then we'll worry about maybe trying to fix it, probably not. And I'm actually going to go through and change belt molds, which is something I forgot that I ordered ages ago. The driver's belt mold on this thing's stuffed. That keeps falling into the door, and then you put the window up and it flops out. The back one's ripping as well, which isn't great. Yes, it's a Calais. This is going to be a repair, but also a bit of a downgrade. Got a set of 4 brand new molds off Evil Bay, but they are just exec molds. They are just the normal plain black ones. $85 for a set of 4, as opposed to like $200 for one second-hand mold. I've already done the passenger side, so I've changed them to the black ones, so they look like that. So we'll keep making this thing a little bit better looking by polishing the turd. We'll put those molds on. We have Jason here. Hello, Jason. So Jason's car, as I said before, this thing hasn't moved in ages, but he has done a little bit of work on it since you've seen it last. It's now running an FG intake, and it has also had a road tune as well. So happy days in that regard. We need to go through and... Hello. We need to go through and do all fluids and filters on this thing too. And we got to strip and fit a bunch of tyres to this. He's brought a whole bunch of wheels and stuff in. Also, before I loaded up my trailer with some wheels and tyres. So I've got 12 wheels and tyres strapped up there, ready to go. And I got another couple in the boot of this. And also did tyre pressures and stuff on the trailer and the car. So that's pretty much ready. We'll just keep hooking into this stuff. Making more and more progress. My oil and filter have turned up for my car now. I also run the Maury's oil stabiliser in it as well. Jason does as well. So my belt molds are on. So they're looking better than what I had. Canis has done an absolutely incredible job getting all of the scratches out the back of the car. I really want to pull the back of this thing apart and try and pull it a bit straighter. That would also allow me to get another tail light in it, because all the mounts on that one are broken except for one. But yeah, we're just running out of time. Jason's getting after it. He's basically done a spanner check, tyre pressures. He's about to fill up gearbox. Engine oil is draining. He's got the oil filter off. We also got his brake lights working. And we have found out that it's got a coolant leak after he's done the FG inlet manifold from the heater pipe where it goes to the thermostat housing. So we'll need to fix that as well. But yeah, we'll just keep hooking in, getting after it, get it done. It's getting later and we need to get going. Oil actually looks pretty good coming out of this thing. Wasn't too bad, but then again, this thing never gets driven. Jason's done his oil and filter, gearbox oil, and he's almost done his diff oil. We've given both cars a fresh coat of black paint on the exhausts. Looking snazzy. Because heaps of people will see that. So as far as my car goes, we're not going to bother doing anything else. We're just going to drop it down and put oil in it and give it a wash. And we're just going to call it good enough. It's getting too late. We're just going to focus on getting this thing done, get the coolant leak fixed, the rest of his fluids done, spanner check everything, and do his tyres. So have at it. We are pretty much done or getting close to being done. We've fixed Jason's coolant leak. We've just got to bleed the cooling system and finalise his oil level. Then that just needs a wash and it's done. Calais done. It just needs a wash and it's done. We've fitted all of our tyres to our rims and pumped them all up. So we're just going to finish all of this stuff up, load up, and get out of here. It's getting late. Jason's car is all done. We've bled up the cooling system and it is ready to go. We've fixed the coolant leak. We've done oil. We've spanner checked everything. We've done gearbox oil, diff oil, coolant. We've bled the clutch. We didn't bleed the brakes. We've just run out of time, but brakes, it stops. Got his brake lights working. Welded up a little bracket for his intake so it's not flopping in the breeze. So, yeah. That's basically it. We're going to load up and get the heck out of here. We need to hit the road and start eating up some miles. We're done, guys. Car's washed. We're all loaded up. Jason's already left. So we are going to head back to the house, have a shower and hit the road. Our next episode will start being filmed tomorrow morning once we get to Calder Park, and we'll film at that event and make an episode out of it just because its content. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please remember to like and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. And until I see you in the next episode, be good to yourselves and each other.